Slowly, the leopard stepped out, moving with dignity despite his age. He sniffed the air deeply, taking in the scent of untouched earth and fresh leaves. His steps were steady, as if reclaiming a piece of life he thought lost. Every movement carried a silent echo of his former strength. He walked several meters before turning back to look at Samuel. Their eyes met, one gaze filled with gratitude, the other with quiet respect. It was a wordless farewell spoken through decades of instinct and understanding. The moment lingered like a soft thread connecting. Driven by hunger, he left the thorny thickets that once offered protection and dominance. Every step echoed with fatigue as sunlight burned harshly on his thinning fur. Still, he searched for water or prey, though hope grew lighter with each passing hour. One brutal morning, a young rival attacked with fierce certainty, eager to prove his strength. The clash was swift and merciless, ending with blood running down the old leopard's shoulder. Barely able to stand, he fled into the brittle forest where silence swallowed his pain. For days he wandered among sharp stones and dry branches, avoiding hostile territories. Thirst tormented him, turning his vision blurry and his breath shallow. Yet something deep inside, instinct or stubbornness, kept his paws moving forward. Then an unexpected scent reached him, exhaust fumes, tar, and the distant hum of engines. He followed it, emerging unsteadily onto a gray road rarely touched by traffic. Cars slowed and moved around him, recognizing danger wrapped in exhaustion. He stood trembling, a fading silhouette of a once great predator under the harsh sun. Drivers kept a respectful distance, aware that desperation can still spark violence. His breaths came rough and uneven, each exhale a reminder of his failing strength. From the trees stepped a man, calm, steady, carrying no weapon but experience. It was Samuel Mbeki, a ranger who had watched Kruger's creatures for more than 2 decades. He recognized the leopard by the scar, a mark he had seen many seasons ago. Samuel approached carefully, lowering his posture and softening his steps. Their eyes locked, one tired and defeated, the other steady and understanding. In that silence, Samuel sensed the leopard came not out of threat, but surrender. Without looking away, he slowly took out his phone and called for the rescue team. He stood guard, ensuring nothing startled the weakened predator. Minutes felt like hours as he waited by the trembling animal. An off-road vehicle arrived with 2 young rangers, Tabo and Lindai. They prepared a mild sedative, moving with trained calm and precision. Samuel briefed them quickly, emphasizing the leopard's dire state. The dart hit the leopard's shoulder with a soft, muted sound. The old cat tensed, then slumped as the sedative spread through his weary body. The rangers approached and examined him with practiced hands. His wound was deep, the bite marks showing the brutality of the earlier battle. They cleaned and bandaged it gently, working swiftly yet respectfully. Rain began to drizzle lightly, cooling the cracked ground around them. The rescue truck moved slowly toward the rehabilitation center. Inside, the leopard lay still, carried not by strength but by the efforts of others. Samuel remained nearby, watching over the creature he had known for years. At the center, veterinarians treated dehydration, infection, and severe exhaustion. The leopard slept for long stretches, gathering strength piece by piece. Samuel visited often, sitting quietly behind the glass as the old cat healed. Days passed, and the fierce glow in the leopard's eyes shifted into something calmer, softer. His fur gradually regained color, though thin patches still revealed the toll of starvation. Eventually he stood on his own legs again, moving slowly but with determination. The veterinarians agreed he could return to the wild, but Kruger was no longer safe for him. Samuel suggested relocating him to a quieter region with less competition. They chose a northern forest where a cool stream ran through lush vegetation. Here prey was abundant, and aggressive predators were fewer and more dispersed. It was the kind of place where an old warrior could finish life peacefully. The transport cage was prepared with soft lining and familiar scents of the forest. When the enclosure door opened, warm sunlight filled the recovery room. The leopard stepped inside, not with fear but with quiet acceptance. He seemed to understand that this journey was a final gift, not a threat. The vehicle traveled along dirt roads surrounded by greener, calmer landscapes. Samuel watched every shift of the leopard's breathing as they journeyed forward. He felt a deep connection to the animal he'd seen grow old in a harsh land. Soon they reached the new forest, where the air smelled of life and renewal. They placed the cage onto a soft patch of grass near the flowing stream. The forest hummed with gentle sounds, birds, insects, moving water. It felt as though nature itself welcomed the old predator home. Tabo unlocked the cage carefully, ready to step back. Slowly, the leopard stepped out, moving with dignity despite his age. He sniffed the air deeply, taking in the sense of untouched earth and fresh leaves. His steps were steady, as if reclaiming a piece of life he thought lost. Every movement carried a silent echo of his former strength. He walked several meters before turning back to look at Samuel. Their eyes met, one gaze filled with gratitude, the other with quiet respect. It was a wordless farewell spoken through decades of instinct and understanding. The moment lingered like a soft thread connecting two different worlds. Then the leopard turned away and disappeared into the shade of the trees. His spotted coat blended with the foliage until he became part of the forest. He walked not as a defeated creature, but as a survivor granted a peaceful ending. The wilderness accepted him gently, like returning an old memory. Samuel remained still, letting the moment settle in his heart. The sun dipped lower, casting pale gold over the forest floor. He felt no sadness, only relief and harmony with the world around him. He knew the leopard would live out his remaining days in freedom. The forest rustled softly, carrying with it decades of stories and unspoken truths. Samuel stood quietly, absorbing the raw beauty of the final chapter. He understood the delicate balance between man and wildness. And he respected the silent agreement formed between them. The ranger turned toward the vehicle, feeling both tired and fulfilled. The forest behind him breathed steadily, sheltering its newest inhabitant. A quiet peace settled over the land as he started walking back. The road home felt calmer than usual, wrapped in soft evening light. Every thought drifted back to the moment the leopard looked at him. It was a gesture he would remember for the rest of his life. Nature rarely gives second chances, yet this one mattered deeply. The leopard would no longer suffer from hunger or relentless competition. He would age in a place that matched the rhythm of his tired body. Samuel felt gratitude, not for heroism, but for connection. He had simply done what was right in a world often ruled by struggle. And the forest had quietly acknowledged his choice. The wind whispered through the leaves as the sun disappeared. Another story had closed, not loudly, but with gentle understanding. Man and animal walked away changed, bound by silent respect.